It wasn't just in my 6 month long bipolar manic episode that I lost control of my mind. In fact, I've also adhered to strong and powerful delusions while I was in a depressive state. What's up, everyone? My name is Tyler Adolfo. I am 26 years old, soon to be 27, and I used to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm making this video because I would like to tell you about the question why. Why I became a conspiracy theorist. Why I stopped being a conspiracy theorist. Because I just think they're interesting questions, and I'm curious to hear other people's experiences. If there's anybody else in this audience watching who used to be a conspiracy theorist themselves, I'm not interested in, what the data says. I want to hear real tangible experiences of other people like me and what they went through and how they were able to climb out of the rabbit hole, so to speak. I feel like the strongest reason for why I became one is I was an extremely vulnerable person. I was someone who could acclimate to the ideas that were being disseminated by conspiracy theorists rather easily and with a sense of credulity. I don't want to say extraordinarily gullible, but probably more gullible than others my age. I was a depressed kid, and the conspiracy theory world enabled me to find a sense of community, something that I could be a part of. So, I was very lonely. I didn't have many friends. I was immensely depressed, and I wasn't happy about my life. And to know that there's something out there that I can project blame onto, it was a great feeling to have. To know that there's factors beyond my control that are truly beyond this world, and most people don't know about these factors. And me, being someone who knows about them, that makes me smart. And this was another component of conspiracy theories, the conspiracy theory world that I've noticed in many people there as well. I've definitely noticed it in myself, is that I felt smarter than other people. I felt like I, as a conspiracy theorist, had the discernment and logical abilities that ordinary people did not. Those who didn't believe in conspiracy theories were not as well intellectually suited as I was. And of course, all of this is absurd. It's actually supremely ironic that the person who adheres to theories that are not grounded in evidence would somehow think he's the more rational one. But that's exactly what happens. In conspiracy world, what's up is down, what's down is up. What's left is right, what's right is left. That's just the way it works. And you start to have this strong suspension of belief in almost every aspect of your life. You start questioning things. And that's one thing I want to throw out there real quick is, if you are a conspiracy theorist or you know a conspiracy theorist, I think you'll agree with me. And that's conspiracy theorists never believe in just one conspiracy theory. There's always more. So myself growing up, the first conspiracy theories I got introduced to were in around 2009 to 2012-ish. And those conspiracy theories were that 9/11 was an inside job, that factors inside the American government conspired to murder 3,000 Americans for the purpose of starting war and instilling the American people with fear. That's a legitimate belief I had. As crazy as it is, it's just the truth of what I used to believe. Of course, I don't believe that now, but that's just one. Another conspiracy theory I started to adhere to at the time was the music industry, that all celebrities sell their souls to some devil for fame, and that's the only reason that they're famous. It's not because of their talent or the sheer number of hours that they pour into perfecting their work and craft. It's because of the simple fact that they sell their souls. And that I, Tyler Adolfo, if I ever wanted to be famous, I could easily summon the devil and sell my soul myself, because that's all it takes. There's no hard work involved whatsoever. It's only a matter of selling your soul. So that was another belief that I had, and that had to go with the Illuminati as well, and seeing artists make hand signs about the Illuminati would really reinforce my belief that, see, I told you it was real. Even though in reality, celebrities do these things for different reasons. I suspect most of them do it just because of it's such an attention grabber and it gets people paying attention to their work because they know that there's questioning minds out there that are going to look at that and then spend hours and hours and hours dissecting it and making it out to be something bigger than it actually is. I certainly did that. I did it so much, in fact, that at one point in my life, I actually had a conspiracy theory YouTube channel. Yes, you heard it here. Tyler Adolfo was not my first YouTube channel. It was my second. Or maybe third, actually. Yeah, because I had a gaming channel before this too. But my first YouTube channel ever was a conspiracy theory channel. I would upload videos talking about stories in the news, explaining how they were fake and should not be believed. I never presented evidence to corroborate the claims that I put forward. I already had a strongly held belief that the things I was saying were true, and to me that was evidence enough to be dismissive of anything that came out of news media. So one of the many more controversial beliefs that I held in the past is that the Boston bombing was completely fake. And I started passing that information along to other events. I started making connections and saying that, oh, this is also fake, or that is also fake. This news story of a car crash must be fake as well. And even like the simplest of things that weren't out of the ordinary events, I would question simply because of the source of it coming from a news station. And, I just think it stems back to the point that I was in a vulnerable position and I got stuck in that loop, that whirling loop of feeling like I'm smarter than other people and being dismissive of the things that I thought were part of this big conspiracy. As a conspiracy theory channel, I also made these videos called Truth Bombs, and I helped popularize them throughout what was the conspiracy theory community. There was literally a community. The channels I used to watch, if you're familiar with some of these, let me know down below. Team Wake 'em Up, Free Radio Revolution, or Jeff C., which rest in peace, by the way. He did pass away recently, a few years ago. There was Dabu, who is still active. I think he is. Alex Jones, of course, at one point, but I didn't stick for him very long because all the others in the smaller conspiracy theory community said that Alex Jones was a shill, and I didn't want to get my information from a source that was propaganda. So imagine that there's people out there who are crazier than Alex Jones and literally believe, you know what, Alex Jones isn't crazy enough to be a part of what we're trying to for what we're trying to start here. So what made me stop believing in conspiracy theories? This is a part that I think is very intriguing. I'm sure it's the part that some of you have been sticking around for, so I'm going to get right into it. The big thing is predictions that just never came true. And each time a major prediction was made, and I adhered to it, and then it came to pass, I felt a little bit of self-doubt accumulate. And slowly but surely, a little self-doubt accumulated to become a great deal of self-doubt. So the prediction that Obama would stay in office and never leave after his second term, that he would then become some dictator, came to pass. It never happened. The prediction that the Obama administration would take everybody's guns away as a result of fake shootings and fake violence taking place across the country came to pass. It never happened. The prediction that martial law would be declared if Trump won the election and that people would be rounded up and put into FEMA camps for believing in the New World Order conspiracy came to pass. It never happened. The prediction that all of us by the year 2017 would have a microchip implant in our wrist that controls what we can buy, eat, or sell, and it's the mark of the beast. If we get it, we go to hell. If we don't, we can't partake in society any longer. All these predictions that I had came to adhere to came to pass. None of them came true. And slowly but surely, as any reasonable person would, instead of being reinforced in my beliefs, instead of sticking to something knowing that it was wrong, I started to drift apart and started to question those that were questioning everything. And once I did so, kind of the rest was history. The whole thing I now saw as a sham, and the world began to fall apart. The other major component of the why I stopped believing in conspiracy theories, and I believe this one works in tangent with the other one. So it was the wrong predictions, but it's also busyness. I just became too busy focusing on my life. And at the time period I had my conspiracy channel, I was a high school dropout. But when I returned to high school, I was taking honors and advanced placement courses. I was working a job. I was getting ready, with the college application process, constantly preparing for some standardized exam of some sort, participating in extracurriculars. I just didn't have the time to go online every day and fester and surround myself by these negative groupthink imbeciles who believe in every conspiracy theory that they hear. It's one thing to have the advice, and I believe this is good advice, that you should not believe everything that you hear or see from mainstream media networks. You should do your own research. But when you do your own research, you got to make sure they're from legitimate sources, because if your initial reason for wanting to venture outside of mainstream media is to get other opinions, but the other opinions you seek are not grounded in reality, what good does that do you? It does not do you any good. You have to live in reality in order for that to actually mean something. Now, people who get their information from an eclectic range of sources are, in my opinion, from my experience speaking to them, they're a lot more insightful, they're a lot more thoughtful, they're a lot more open-minded, they're a lot less dismissive, and they have that discernment, they have the intellectual faculties to engage in a wide-ranging conversation, because they're not just rattling out talking points, but they actually have constructive thoughts that they've formed of their own based off the many sources they've derived information from. So you end up having more interesting conversations with those people. By contrast, there's those who think that everything that they read or see must be false, and as a result, they start to associate themselves with others who believe the same, and it's just a massive echo chamber of people who believe in nothing, quite literally believe in nothing. So, I'm 26 years old. I used to be a conspiracy theorist. I'd be glad to hear what questions, if any at all, that you may have about myself and my experience. I think I did a good job of answering the questions of why, about why I became one, why I stopped being one. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences if you have any that you'd like to share. I thought it would be an interesting topic to discuss, and I feel like it could also maybe even help others start to question what they believe. Those who are stuck in this conspiracy theory world of believing that everything that they see and hear is false. Maybe we can help liberate some of them from their constraints, from their chains, and get them to view the world more open-mindedly and have viewpoints that are more grounded in facts and logic rather than just endless conjecture. If we can do that, I think that's an amazing thing. Maybe it's too big of an ask, but hey, if there's even one person out there who ends up becoming a more open-minded, informed, critical thinking person as a result of this video, then this video was worth it, in my view. So that's it, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe so that you can stay tuned to my future content and so that more people can see this video. That's all I got for today. I'll see y'all on the next one. Tyler Adolfo, y'all. Peace, love, light, and tranquility to all. Hope you all have a marvelous day.